Potential Problems Podcast, everybody. Hey, how's it going? I'm John Cuellar. That is...
I'm Alan Clark. Hello.
Hiss! Came into the show hissing, Alan.
You hissing?
I'm hissing.
Why you hissing? You having a hissy fit?
Hiss. I don't know. It just feels good. Have you ever just hissed in a business meeting?
No, but, you know.
Or like, here's a good thing to do when... as Aerosmith plays us in Hangman Jury. Thank you, Steven Tyler and company.
For allowing us the rights.
For giving us the rights, yes. He called me up and he was like, and I was like, I don't know what the fuck that means, but we're using the music.
That sounds good, yeah.
I listened to Joe Perry's book. That was pretty cool. He reads it, and he's got a bit of a Boston accent.
Is that Boston?
Yeah.
A Boston accent? You know, Silver in Boston, right boy? Over in the Emerald Boston.
Eating better, going to the gym, you know,
Like-
that kind of thing.
Like, I guess that counts. Like, it's their roots.
Yeah, so the book is good. The reading, if you like Joe Perry, his accent is minimal actually, but you can definitely tell. And his voice doesn't change much as he reads he doesn't inflect different things, but that's okay. It was cool to hear him read it and tell it. And he talked about, the cool, like the first time they were like famous, which was, pretty famous. But then the second time they were famous just fucking blew the first time away. Which is pretty nuts.
Their second fame was more enjoyable.
Yes and no. Here's what I learned about that period. So during that period,
They were living on the edge.
well, not only that, but it was amazing, crazy, crying. Did you know about that? That single, Amazing, Crazy, Crying?
What?
No, it was like a SNL sketch.
Oh, okay.
Where they were like making fun of how all those ballads were kind of the same, which they kind of were. I saw that. Did you ever see
Crazy and Crying.
that article who talks about most of the pop music being written by a few individuals here and there,
Yeah, there was also that would happen earlier in the film industry too. There was pretty much like one or two guys, maybe a handful of guys that wrote the majority of the scripts.
Okay.
And they would just churn out these quick movies because they were writing under pseudonyms because they supported communism.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so they had to have fake names.
Who's that?
Trumbo.
Yes. What's that guy's name? Dalton Trumbo.
Bryan Cranston. Yeah. He portrayed him.
Yes, that was before he was Malcolm in the Middle's grandfather. Before he was Malcolm in the Middle's father.
But yes, Dalton Trumbo, American screenwriter and the communist sympathizer.
I listened to a podcast about him that was pretty interesting. That just talked about how they painted him as a communist sympathizer, and it was a very tricky time back then.
Well, it worked. Because here we are in 2024 saying he's a communist.
Well, you said that. I didn't say
No,
that.
you co-signed it.
I don't think so.
Yeah, you put it down in blood. I saw you do it.
You didn't see shit.
Yeah, you left it.
Aerosmith got bigger the second time, but the thing is they were sober, which is cool. Sobriety is cool.
Yeah, who cares about?
But in the book, Joe Perry talks about how it's interesting that their first go around in music and fame and stardom, there's definitely an edge to those songs because they're fucking high and irresponsible and fucked up. But the second round of fame, it's a little bit more formulaic.
They've had some therapy.
Yeah, and it's a little bit more structured. And I prefer a lot of the older Aerosmith just because it is so fucking raw. But it's interesting that you have to come back and then as an artist find a different place to, perform from and find this new way. So that was pretty cool to listen to the book by Joe Perry. I forget what the name of it was, but it was pretty good.
Parry Me Away to Aerosmith Town?
No, I think it was Joe Perry book. The Joe Perry book.
Cool.
Look for it.
Buy my book, kid.
Exactly. But he talked about a lot of cool stuff, shooting up when he tried to shoot the heroin man. or it was cocaine, and he made a big mess, and he never shot up again because he just squirted blood everywhere.
Oh.
Which
Yeah, I
is a
guess something
fetish
like
these
that.
days.
Yeah, something like that might turn you away from it.
Yeah.
You're like, oh shit, I got a vein. It won't stop. Your heart starts racing, the adrenaline starts going, making it worse.
Oh yeah, no shit. Just pumping everywhere.
Yeah.
So that was Aerosmith, Hangman Jury. And the book was pretty good. Also, Steven Tyler's completely full of shit, which I think we all knew. But now I have direct, Joe Perry's book very specifically talks about, remember in like the 2010s, teens, where they're like, Steven Tyler's, he's hosting American Idol now.
Yeah.
And Joe Perry was like, the first I heard of it was when someone told me about it, like right before it happened.
Oh, they weren't friendly with each other?
They were not, even though they were known as the Toxic Twins back in the day.
No.
Mm-hmm. Very toxic. So that was cool. And then I forgot what started us. I guess just the song, right?
Yeah.
What started us on that.
It's funny. Cumulatively, over the 10 years of the show, we've probably done like a solid hour and a half on Aerosmith at this point.
Have we?
Yeah.
It would be great if there was a program where I could go through all of the shows and find all of the Aerosmith references, right?
Yeah, I'm sure it's possible. We got to hire someone on Fiverr to do it for us.
Okay, that's easy.
Yeah.
Nick knows some people, I'm sure.
Yeah.